Ramana Maharshi's teachings. How to control and calm the mind with breath control, Pranayama. I am presenting here excerpts from talks with Ramana Maharshi about breath control, Pranayama. A conversation. Maharshi offered some information about breath control. Maharshi pointed out that breath retention is an aid to control of mind, that is, suppression or annihilation of thoughts. One person may practice breath control, inhalation, exhalation, and retention, or retention only. Still another type of practicing meditator, on controlling the mind, controls the breath, and its retention results automatically. Watching the inhalation and exhalation is also breath control. These methods are only apparently threefold. They are in fact really one, because they lead to the same goal. They are, however, differently adopted according to the stage of the aspirant and his antecedent predispositions or tendencies. Really, there are only two methods: enquiry and devotion. One leads to the other. Another conversation. Visitor, why does not the mind sink into the heart even while meditating? Maharshi, a floating body does not readily sink unless some means are adopted for making it do so. Breath control makes the mind quiet. The mind must be alert, and meditation pursued unremittingly, even when it is at peace. Then it sinks into the heart, or the floating body might be loaded with weights and made to sink. So also, association with the wise will make the mind sink into the heart. Association with the wise is both mental and physical. The extremely visible being of the Guru pushes the mind inward. He is also in the heart of the seeker, and so he draws the seeker's inward bent mind into the heart. This question is asked only when the man begins to meditate and finds it difficult. Let him practice breath control just a little, and the mind will be purified. It does not now sink into the heart because the latent tendencies stand as obstacles. They are removed by breath control or association with the wise. In fact, the mind is always in the heart, but it is restless and moves about on account of latent tendencies. When the tendencies are made ineffective, it will be restful and at peace. By breath control, the mind will only be temporarily quiet because the tendencies are still there. If the mind is transformed into the self, it will no longer give trouble. That is done by meditation. Another conversation. Visitor, the mind is not steady in meditation. When misery overpowers me, enquiry is impossible. Maharshi, because the mind is too weak. Make it strong by satsanga, Ishvara Aradhana, Pranayama, that is, association with the wise, worship of God, breath control. Then misery is removed. Our aim is removal of misery. You do not acquire happiness. Your very nature is happiness. Bliss is not newly earned. All that is done is to remove unhappiness. These methods do it. Another conversation. Visitor: I am hard worked and find little time to practice concentration. Are there any aids for it? Is breath control a good aid? Maharishi: Prana, life breath, and mind arise from the same source. The source can be reached by holding the breath or tracing the mind. If you cannot trace the mind, holding the breath will no doubt be helpful. Regulation of breath is gained by watching its movements. Another conversation. Maharishi: Breath control may be useful as an aid, but can never lead to the goal itself. While doing it mechanically, take care to be alert in mind and remember the I thought and seek its source. Then you will find that where breath sinks, there the I thought arises. They sink and rise together. The I thought also will sink along with breath. Simultaneously, another luminous and infinite I will manifest, and it will be continuous and unbroken. That is the goal. It goes by different names: God, Self, Kundalini Shakti, consciousness, and so on. When the attempt is made, it will of itself take you to the goal. Another conversation. A certain musician came into the hall and began to sing the songs of Saint Tyagaraja in the language Telugu. One of them says, "Find the source of the sound, which is transcendental, Mooladhara Shabda, by diving deep like a pearl diver diving for pearls." Then the musician sang another song which says, "For a man who has controlled his mind, where is the use of tapasya, penance? Give up I am the body idea and realize I am not, you are all." These songs were translated to the visitor. Visitor: Is it necessary to control one's breath? What becomes of the man who has not practiced breath control? Maharishi: Breath control is only an aid for diving deep. One may as well dive down by control of mind. On the mind being controlled, the breath becomes controlled automatically. One need not attempt breath control. Mind control is enough. Breath control is recommended for the man who cannot control his mind directly. Naham, I am not this, corresponds to Rechaka, exhalation. Koham, who am I, that is the search for the I, corresponds to Puraka, inhalation. Soham, I am that is, I am the self alone, corresponds to Kumbhaka, retention of breath. So, these are the functions of pranayama. Again, the three formulas are Na aham, not I, Ka aham, who I, Sa aham, he I. Delete the prefixes and hold on to the common factor in all of them, that is, aham, I. That is the gist of the whole matter. Then Maharishi referred to the songs of the saint Tyagaraja and said, Tyagaraja says well, the mind should be controlled. The question arises, what is mind? He himself answers in the next two lines, saying that it is the I am the body idea. The next question is how the control is affected. He answers again, saying, by complete surrender. Realize that I am not, and that all is He. The song is fine and compact. He also mentions the other method, namely control of breath.